You getting this? Center of screen, fence line.
Yeah, thought it was a deer at first.
Deer don't stand like that.
It's not moving. It's just looking at the camera.
Zoom in.
I am zoomed in. That's as close as it gets.
Log it. Whatever it is, log it.
Thermal cameras don't lie the way eyes do. No shadows playing tricks, no headlamp glare, just heat, plain and simple, rendered in black and white. Which is exactly why it's so unsettling when the guys running them keep seeing the same thing. Something that shows up clearly, holds still just long enough to be certain it's real, and then is simply gone by the time anyone gets there. A soldier who pulled perimeter security duty stateside sent this one in. Here's what he says happened.
We had thermal mounted on the gate truck. Standard stuff. Use it constantly to scan the tree line during overnight shifts. One night my battle buddy calls me over, tells me to look at the screen. There's a heat signature about 100 yards out, upright, roughly person-shaped, just standing at the edge of the trees. We watched it for a solid 2 minutes. It never moved once, not even a shift in weight, which is honestly the part that got to me more than anything else. People sway a little even when they're trying to stand still. This thing didn't. When we finally rolled out to check, on foot, weapons up, there was nothing there. No footprints, no disturbed brush, nothing. We got back in the truck, pulled the camera back up, and it was standing in the exact same spot again, like it had never left. We called it in. Whoever was on the other end of that radio just told us to keep an eye on it and continue to patrol. Nobody ever followed up.
Submitted by a former infantryman who did a rotation overseas running security halts at night. He didn't want the country named, so we're leaving it out. This is what he says. We were dug in on a ridge, using a thermal scope to watch a valley below us for movement. About an hour into the watch, I pick up a heat signature at the tree line, way bigger than it should be, just standing there. I call my team leader over. He looks, goes quiet, hands it to the next guy. 3 of us watch this thing for almost 5 minutes. Nobody said much of anything. We just kept passing the scope back and forth, each of us hoping the next guy would say it was nothing. It never got closer. It never left. We debated calling up the chain, but none of us wanted to be the guy who reported an unidentified giant heat signature on the net. Eventually, it just wasn't there anymore. No movement, no walk-off, just gone between one scan and the next. We didn't talk about it again until we were back at base, and even then, only among ourselves. Sorry for interrupting. If you got a story like these, send it in. I read every single one. Back to it. This account comes from a former UAV sensor operator who spent years reviewing overhead thermal footage for overseas patrols. Most of the job is watching nothing happen for hours at a time, tracking goats, tracking guys tending fires, logging patterns of life. But every once in a while you catch something that doesn't fit. I had one instance where we were tracking a group of individuals around a fire, completely routine, until one of them stood up and was clearly, obviously too tall, head and shoulders above the others. No way to explain it away as a trick of the lens or the altitude we were flying at. I actually called my analyst partner over just to confirm I wasn't seeing things, and he saw it too, right before it sat back down like nothing happened. We flagged the timestamp and kept the feed running, so it'd be there for the next shift to review. By the time anyone higher up actually asked to pull that specific clip, it had somehow not saved, just a gap in the archive where it should have been. Nobody above us explained why, and after asking twice, I stopped asking. The last account is only a few lines, left as a comment underneath a veteran forum thread about thermal anomalies. I ran thermal on a tower for 2 years. Only saw it twice. Both times it was looking straight at the camera like it knew exactly where the lens was, not just a general direction, the actual lens. I stopped asking questions about it after the second time. I still don't know what I'd have done if there had been a third. No further explanation was given. Thermal cameras are supposed to be the one tool that doesn't lie to you the way tired eyes can at 3 a.m. Heat is heat. It shows up or it doesn't. But according to enough of these accounts to make you wonder, sometimes something shows up clearly, holds perfectly still, stares back at the lens like it knows it's being watched, and then simply isn't there anymore by the time anyone gets close enough to check. If you've run thermal, FLIR, or any kind of night optic and caught something you couldn't explain, I want to hear about it. Thanks for sticking around for the after action. I'll admit, thermal optics always weirded me out a little even without any of this. There's something about seeing a person reduced to just a glowing outline that never quite sat right with me. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. If you've got a story of your own, I want to hear it. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.